You'll never read well if you move your lips. That's how children do it.
Hey guys, courtesy of a pop-up from The Winter Is Coming Out, we got news of a new casting, Mark Rissman, whom I know from another cool show, The Last Kingdom. He'll be playing homeless Harry Strickland, who is probably leading the Golden Company. So I figured now would be a good time to review the book version of the Golden Company, because even though its subplot is fundamentally different between the books and the show, there are a handful of things which may come into play. Quick recap first though, but don't worry, I won't bore you with the details here, but basically, the Golden Company is, as one of my favorite book characters puts it, a brotherhood of the failed and the fallen. There were 5 Blackfire rebellions, they lost them all. The Golden Company was formed by exiles after the first one, and the Golden Company participated in 4 of the 5 rebellions. These dudes just want to get back to their homes. In the books, the Golden Company is part of Illyrio and Varys' Targaryen restoration plan. The latest version of the ever-changing plan was to marry Dany and Rhaegar's son Aegon. No, not Jon Snow, Aegon, as in his son with Elia Martell. But Dany has taken her sweet time in Meereen. Influenced by stuff Tyrion had told him earlier in the story, Aegon convinces the Golden Company to set sail for Westeros before Dany gets there. So clearly, there's a big difference between the books and the show, since Aegon, or fake Aegon, depending on your interpretation, he's not in the show. And I doubt he will be, although it would be pretty awesome since his main advisor, Jon Connington, is one of my favorite characters in the entire series despite very little face time. But, even though the Golden Company will be used differently, let's go over what we learned about them because some of the little tidbits may come into play. First, they are the largest and most respected sellsword company. They don't even call themselves sellswords, even though they are. Their motto is, "Our word is as good as gold," and they have never broken a contract until recently. They broke a contract with Myr. So it begs the question, if they form a contract with Cersei, will they break this one as well? Probably. Number 2. Davos said they had 10,000 men back in Season 4.
10,000 skilled soldiers fight for the Golden Company.
The Golden Company?
Never broken a contract.
They're sellswords.
We're willing to use blood magic to put you on the throne, but we're not willing to pay men to fight.
And they have 10,000 men in the books, but in Season 7, Cersei says 20,000 men.
The Golden Company. 20,000 men, horses, elephants, I believe.
So that's probably what we'll see in Season 8, 20,000 men. A lot of dudes, which is why Euron's fleet is necessary to carry them over to Westeros. 3. In the show version of the story, Ser Jorah has fought with them in his early years in exile.
Didn't you fight for the Golden Company before pledging your sword to my brother?
So it'll be pretty interesting to see if he has any connections or even friendships with them, which leads back to the first point about them breaking contract with Cersei. Number 4. They are very efficient. Jon Connington notes that their war camp was something even Dane would approve of, and when they sail over to Westeros, they are notably more organized and efficient than the armies we've been used to. Quote, "Discipline was a mother's milk to them." So whomever they join up with is going to benefit. Well, not the first person like Cersei, but whomever they are loyal to, they're going to benefit. Maybe the Night King. Alright, that's not funny. Number 5. In the books, we leave off with them heading to Storm's End to take it over. Let's hope they're doing something similar in the show, because Storm's End supposedly has magical walls, just like Winterfell.
I'm not a child. I am the Lady of Winterfell, and I am home. This is the safest place for me.
Which is why Melisandre had to get shipped under Storm's End before releasing the Shadow Baby, the Shadow of Death. Otherwise, it would not have been able to penetrate the walls, or so we're led to believe. Numero 6. They've got war elephants. 7. The Golden Company has 50 Summer Islanders, who are some of the best archers in the world, and they use some of the best bows in the world, made out of Golden Heart wood. The only bows better are Dragonbone bows. Say that 5 times. So this may play a part in either shooting down ravens that are being sent out to deliver messages, or maybe even to take down a dragon. The question is, one of Dany's dragons or the Night King's? Either of those seem unlikely. But even if the arrows can't penetrate a dragon's scales, the rider is not as invincible, as evidenced in the Loot Train battle when Drogon had to swerve right to protect Dany. My bet is on these archers shooting down ravens though, that is, if they show up in the show. That's all I got. But it'd be cool if Daario showed up with the Golden Company. And since Illyrio is the puppet master behind the Golden Company in the books, I figured I'd mention something I never have, which is that I don't know if Illyrio is Illyrio. In the books he is said to be ginormous, yet 2 different times it's noted that he walks very lightly, and he wears rubies. So I wouldn't be surprised if he's glamored up, an illusion, just like Mel, or Mance Rayder in the books. I would not be surprised if he is secretly in cahoots with the Red Temple in Volantis, doing some shady stuff with the fanatics of R'hllor and their stupid Azor Ahai prophecy, which caused this mess with the White Walkers in the first place. Alright, before I go, just wanted to send my thoughts out to Roy Dotrice's friends and family. Roy passed away today. I didn't know the guy, but he was an actor in the show, the narrator of the audiobooks, and a friend of George R. R. Martin. Loved by many, I'm sure. I've listened to some of the chapters he's narrated literally dozens upon dozens of times, sometimes at 3x speed, and sometimes for pleasure. He did an amazing job, and I'm really grateful, so thank you, Roy.